Hey guys, my name is Played With, and I am here to do my very first ever Transformers review. I've chosen something quite special, something that I think is kind of hilarious. It's the newest Transformer that I was able to get my hands on. It comes from the Studio series, and it is Topspin. You can see I've taken the background out of the package here, and no, I didn't chew it open this time. Anyway, let's get down to it. Comes with a nice little background. I'm not going to be using this at all. I never do. I don't display my Transformers. I play with them. High five. I am a guy with autism, and I love the texture of solving problems and puzzles with my hands. And this guy happens to be something that I'm a little on the fence about. Don't really know exactly if he's going to wind up being one of my favorites or not. But there's something really hidden in this that is absolutely hilarious, so I can't wait to get down to it. I really like the outside of this figure. This alt mode with his car, the NASCAR Impala, it winds up being a really slick looking figure. But there's one problem. Really limp guns. I hate to say it, but it reminds me of the middle ground that Todd McFarlane Toys took, where they started going with really soft plastics, almost rubberized like protoplastics, and then they switched back to HDPE style ones, high density polyethylene ones that were really tough, really slick, and they could take a beating. The outside of the vehicle is really fantastic. It's got a good heft to it for when you put it together. No parts feel like they're going to pop off, and that's great. I love it. Now we're going to pop these guns off here. Can take them off of the sides. The other two clamps are hidden underneath here, and you can see that basically it's another one of those Transformers who's hidden underneath his own carriage. You've got Ultra Wreckers here on the side of the wheels. Got the number 48 down the side, and part of the reason why I picked this up was because it's just a big old stupid car with guns on top of it. I mean, who played Twisted Metal Black? Who played Carnage? Who played any of those games where you're driving around blowing people up all the time? That's it. It speaks to me really well. However, there's, again, something that I would like to get into. So let's go ahead and transform this guy, and I'll show you what the hilarious business is to this. So pop off the sides here, and that's good. I'm glad that they made it so that these are able to take a little bit of stress. You pop this up, flip it, and there's a little socket here that pops into. I've got a little bit of a problem with that. I wish they had made it a little bit deeper. It doesn't really hinge that well. But here on the spoiler, I do like the fact that the spoiler connects, and it makes a really solid connection. So let's get in here. We've got the front that also takes a little bit of finesse. And what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to pop it off of this tab right here. Basically, we've got those, pop it off this tab, fold that up, and these become the arm plates. So we've got that, it then loosens this bit right here. But before we can do that, before we can lift that out of the way and get it to the transformation phase, what we've got to do is we've got to loosen the legs. Now, you're supposed to be able to break the legs straight down, but I find that the two tabs on there take quite a bit of stress, so I don't do that. Instead, I do them one leg at a time, and I rotate it around until it pops free. And that keeps me from snapping the thing off, because as you can tell from what I've just done, I like to put a lot of pressure on these things, and there are a lot of Transformers that I have broken clean parts off of and had to either hot glue or just deal with. So with the leg, what I'm doing here is we've got this bit up in here, and flip it down, rotate this wheel around, and then that becomes the legs. Now, we've almost got the transformation completely done. That's one of the other disappointing things about this. Some of the other Studio series are a bear to deal with, and I love it. I love having to work hard. Megatron, the original masterpiece, is my favorite Transformer to transform because he is a huge pain in my ass. Super huge. Every time I go back to transform him, I question my Transformer goodness. The goodness inside of me that makes me want to love Transformers. I question it because he is such a bear. Now, here on the back, we lift the top off, it goes up, and then we pull this down here. His arms come down on both sides. And that leaves us with the back. Then this is able to pop out. Let's see if I can get a view in there. It's able to pop out and swivel down. And at the same time that you're doing that, you want to take this and swivel it up. Now, in the back here, you can see there's a division between the shoulder blades, and that's where the back spoiler fits, and it clicks into place pretty hard. Let's see if I've got it. I think that's as far as it's going to go. Now this back canopy is a little bit loose, and I guess that's all right. But there's a strange thing here, which in mine, I'll take this off real quick and show you, twist it back around. But it came with a piece cut out of it, which I don't understand. And you can hear that almost tabbing on there, but it's been sliced. And I'm worried that over time, as I flex this up and down, that's going to wind up snapping that off, and that the entire support section for the rear spoiler is going to wind up coming off, and I don't like that. I don't like that at all. But anyway, for now, we're just going to have to deal with it because it hasn't broken. So, okay, there's that hard pop I was talking about. Now his legs, they rock all the way back. They can lean forward, but he has big ankles, so he does okay if you make his knees go all the way back. Now his arms are hidden behind, so go back here and pop them down. Bring them down, and then they fold forward on a hinge. And then the hands come out. And then repeat the process on the other side. Now there's something pretty neat here. I'm a huge fan of the engineering behind these toys. And the little ball joint here that holds the arm plates on has a little recess in the arm to make it a little more compact fit, and that's nice. And so there are things on this figure for Topspin that make me really appreciate it, but at the same time, it was such an easy transformation. I want to complain about it. Anyway, the arm plates then snap in. You fold them up towards the shoulders, and then those parts that snapped in on the sides then snap in here along the upper shoulders. And those actually have a good tab to them, whereas the outer plates don't. They don't tab in that well. So go with the other side. It's not high enough. Let's see here. There we go. Now we've got him all set up to be able to take on his arm guards. Now the arm guards also have a little ball, and that helps with the little recess. So if we bring his arms up, we can see that little recess right there, that little ovoid area, and that helps keep that pincher in place. Now, if you ask me who Topspin was in the movies, I don't care. I really don't care. I really don't like the movies at all. In fact, I only started collecting the studio series because they're so much fun to transform. I was actually avoiding all of them for the longest time because I think all the Michael Bay figures, and this is a controversial opinion, and I'm not sure if I'm going to get any likes after saying this in my first video, but I think they're ugly. Really ugly. Like, just insectoid disgustingness. I mean, even Optimus Prime is not a good-looking fellow. Like, there was something about the magic, and it just wore off on me by the fourth film. Like, I didn't go see the fourth or fifth films or Bumblebee in theaters. I waited until they came out on like super package deal where I got the entire quintology for like $13 on Apple or something like that. I don't know. I've seen them all. I don't remember what happened. They're 2.5 hours of nothing. So, yeah, I mean, how can you relate to characters who don't actually do anything except say phrases that you can plug into an electronics box in the chest? I don't relate to that. As a kid, I might have. And, you know, Go Joe still rings in my head. But, you know, G.I. Joe has also had PSAs about, like, you know, staying out of fire things and whatnot. I don't know. It just seems like they could really use a movie that also had action but also had a plot that made me think, had characters that made me commit. There's a couple of 5mm posts on the side here, and then there's also 5mm posts on the grippers, and you can plug these in to those. You can plug them into his hands, which you're supposed to do. That's what it's got listed on the box. But there's not really some heavy, like the 5mm posts on this are short. So they fit really well on the sides, but those holes aren't very deep, so it's not a big deal. But then once they fit in his hand, they feel like they're about to fall off, particularly because it's this wobbly rubber. And frankly, if you're going to go with an unpainted accessory and you're going to go in on something that's got some pretty high detailing to it, I don't know if you can see that very well, but basically it comes down to just being able to give me something that I don't feel like my cats are going to chew up and destroy in one bite. You know, same up here. These little blowpipes that sit next to his head are kind of ridiculous. They're really floppy and they don't fold around, even though they're on hinges. I don't really understand that. So, you know, all in all, I would say that this figure is a fun figure. I am happy that I got it because that car mode is just dope. It's so good. Yeah, I just love it. It's fucking incredible. But here's the thing. This guy reminds me of somebody, and I don't know if he'll remind you of it when you get it, but he's got a nice little flat top here, you can see. And when you look at his eyes, you can see that he's got some sunglasses on. And he also has a net on the side of his head. And he basically looks like Dog the Bounty Hunter. Yeah, Dog the Bounty Hunter, the Transformer. He's got a whole bunch of guns and he's got pinchers so he can catch people. Yeah, let's get it. Yeah, Dog the Bounty Hunter, the Transformer, coming to your store soon. I hope you guys liked it. Have a great time.